Welcome to my garden. Hello, welcome to today's garden tour. It is mid-April and I wanted to share some of the things that are currently blooming in the garden. It's an exciting time for me because I moved into my house last fall, the end of last fall, when most things outdoors were winding down and closing down and there wasn't a whole lot that was blooming and growing. So I'm just starting to see what things are growing in my garden, in my backyard, as it currently stands. I do have big dreams of transforming this backyard space with a lot of landscaping, beautiful seating spaces, places for playing and enjoying all around. So let's jump into what the yard looks like now, and then I'll share a little bit about what my plans are for adding garden projects this year. Okay, so you'll have to forgive me because I don't know the names of all these flowers. I can try and figure some of them out later. But a lot of these little purpley flowers, this lovely bush that's got a really nice delicate flower on it. Whatever this beautiful thing is that's flowering and bursting with pink flowers right now. A little bit of shrubbery starting to leaf out. And then this is the area where we've really been doing the most work. This is where I had a tree stump removed earlier this year, added 4 new raised beds, which I'm soon going to be filling up with soil so that we can get to some garden plants, and creating essentially what will be the garden area. So let me show you a little bit of what we got going on right now. As soon as I figure out how to level off this spot, I think that this is going to be where the green stalk will go. And I got some potting mix to start topping off that bed, layering my raised beds with some twigs and wood chips at the bottom, and then I'll add compost and a nice finished soil to the top of it. These are just some starts that I got at the garden center. I found that the starts that I started indoors, and I can show you those as well, were not really the size that I was hoping for by this time of year. And I did want to get something out in the garden so that I could get some cold weather crops before the season got too hot. So these are 2 Brussels sprouts. In this bed, salad mix, but I think that one's supposed to be in a different one. In this bed, I planted beets and carrots. Those are starting to come up now. And in this grow bag, I've got cauliflower and what I think is broccoli. Yes, cauliflower and broccoli. There are some garlics that I started earlier in the year and some sweet peas that I should really get some trellising for here shortly. Again, here is the garden area. You can see for context, this is sort of the north, southeast, northwest corner of my yard. So it should get, especially since there's no tree blocking anymore, a lot of daytime sun. My whole backyard is north facing, so just working with what we got. The western side seemed to be the most sunny. Some lovely flowers here. Of course, I know that I haven't identified all the plants, but I have a sense that basically none of this is native. I'm just working with what I've got for now, and then I'm going to add to it and sort of change things along the way as I get the chance. More of this really pretty purple flower. And this one I do know. This is a lilac, and it smells incredible. Their little birdhouse gourd. I'll get out of their space so that they can enjoy just living a bird life. This section is really what I'll call the ultimate work in progress section. I do feel like the path that I created, so I used the wood chip mulch from getting the tree removed in order to add in a wood chip path through the backyard that goes from the garden to essentially where the old homeowner's garden was and the street. So the garden gate is on the other side of the house there. Um, this is a borrowed fire pit that I used for the eclipse day. Eventually, I have to give that back to my mom and we'll have to build our own fire pit, but that is a future exciting project that hopefully will be coming to the channel soon. But the vision is really that this will end up being a chill space, that I'll build out a fireplace here, have some nice seating areas around it. I'm thinking either like a gravel or some sort of flagstone, sandstone, some sort of stone bottom, whether that's like some sort of pea gravel or crushed stone, or whether it's slabs of pavers. Something I'm envisioning creating just a big circle that can be our fire pit area with some seating around it. And then behind it, once this trash mound is cleared, putting in some perennial bushes, maybe some small shrub-like trees, something that will flower or produce berries that could be good for birds and other wildlife. I think that that would be really beautiful to have sort of along the back fence there. And then the idea is that this will just be the chill zone. This will just be the spot where I can sit at the end of a long day of working or gardening or whatever, put my feet up, enjoy a nice beverage, and just sort of chill. That is the hope that I hope will someday soon come to be. So one of the big projects that I really have to figure out this spring is a better solution for my yard waste and my compost, and how to get rid of this mountain pile so that I can do something cool with this area. Okay, this is the junk pile where I really don't know what to do with it right now. It is a lot of brush, a lot of sort of tree trimmings and logs and random stuff, grass clippings. I was hoping to sort of turn it into a compost initially last year, and then I came out to turn this pile with a pitchfork and realized that there was some kind of like trash and other gross things in there, but I'm guessing the previous homeowner used this as a pseudo trash mound. So I don't really feel comfortable using anything from this for composting, but I also don't have another place to put yard waste at this time. So it is sort of just the collecting place for branches and grass clippings until I figure out what to do with it. This area is, I hope, to be our future orchard space. There are 2 existing apple trees, and we'll just really have to see come fall time what kind of apples they produce. Do we enjoy them? Are they good for preserving, cooking, baking, eating fresh? What the situation is with the apples that we have here. I did order beginning of January some bare root strawberries and blueberry and raspberry bare root plants. So I will have to figure out, I'm thinking in this space here, I'm going to cut a space out of the lawn and maybe double dig down a section, add some compost, and create a bed in between the 2 trees where I can put my fruit bushes. Yeah, and so that's sort of the plan for this year. Those plants are coming soon. I did get a notification already that they are going to be delivered soon. So I need to figure out a solution for where I'm going to plant my strawberries, blueberries, raspberries. I do have my green stock, which I planted strawberries in last year. That was pretty successful. So I probably will, as I'm building that back up, the tiers of that, filling with soil, if there's any plants that are dead or dying or didn't survive the winter, I'll probably replace those with some of the new strawberry plants that I bought, and figure out a way to plant the rest in probably an in-ground bed around my shrubs, around my raspberry and blueberry bushes that are coming very soon. And finally, that brings us to what was the previous homeowner's garden, or the existing garden. When I moved in here, there was sort of a small bed here, which seems to have some somewhat decentish soil, um, but really there's a lot of still just kind of trash and fill waste that's down here. So I just put flowers in for now, and whatever extra garlic didn't fit my grow bags. And we'll just sort of see how this bed does this year. And I'm thinking this is the area that I'm going to change out year after year, put something in it, see how it grows, divide it, add it to another space in the garden. Also, because this is the section where my little one loves to dig and scoop all of the dirt, I'm probably not going to put my most precious, most favorite plants here long term. I think, yeah, this is the space where this year I'm just growing flowers. I'm going to see what grows, see what comes up, maybe some herbs in here, just make it really like sensory and fun and stuff that if it gets digged around, it can survive and will be okay. This area back here is pretty much a waste of land. This was a big garden. There was sort of a big box around an in-ground garden. Let me show you a little bit more. I'll try and add some clips of what it looked like in the fall when I moved in. It was sort of corn and tomatoes and squash and everything overgrown. Clearly, they had moved out and no one had been caring for it after they left until I moved in, because it looked wild and crazy. And so because it was the end of the growing season and everything was dying, I just sort of let it go, and then I cleaned it out and added it all to that brush pile that's in the back. Now it is pretty much just bare dirt that is starting to fill up with weeds. So I need to do something to manage it pretty soon. And what I think I'd like to do with this space, because it is the gate and entrance into the garden, is to make this sort of like the secret garden space. So I'm thinking beautiful wildflowers on either side, and that this path that we've created, I'm going to carry all the way through to the gate, and on either side of the path will be wildflowers. So this is going to be the first area where I'm just going to experiment with putting wildflower seeds in the ground. Probably I'll till it and add some compost and stuff as well, just to make sure the soil is somewhat healthy. Add some wildflower seeds, see what comes up, and just sort of work with it as a prairie, and see what happens. See if I like that style. And then in addition to that, I'm going to try and add a lot more native plants all over my yard this year, just to really make it more beautiful, more healthy, more giving to wildlife, and enjoyable to be in. So maybe a scoop on this area. All right, so right now it just sort of looks like this. It's overgrown. Here is some of the lawn clippings that I saved to add to future compost pile whenever I figure that out, figure out where the final position for that will be. And really that's it. It just looks overgrown. There is this sort of out of commission giant rain barrel cistern that is just unfortunately covered with algae or mold or something on the inside. I need to figure out how. I don't know how to clean it. If you have any ideas of how to service a rain barrel, please leave them in the comments. I'm not sure what to do about it. I need to clean it out. I would love to be able to use this rainwater, but right now it just feels like an eyesore and I don't know what to do. So yeah, this is the space that I'm hoping to be sort of the secret garden space with a path. So I'm going to connect a path to right there where there is a path, and then on either side of it have beautiful tall wildflowers. And then I might do sunflowers along this fence as well, just because I feel like that would be really pretty. Yeah, and so that's it. that is the garden. There's also some birds that are a little upset at me. I accidentally uncovered their nest in this old dead tree. Here, let me show you. Just a little nest with some cute little, what are those? I don't know if these are robin eggs. Actually, I think the bird looks like a tufted titmouse. If someone knows, please tell me. But I accidentally, I didn't think anything was in here. I thought it was just a dead stump. And I was trying to clear the stump so that when I get my soul delivery, they can get in more easily. And when I kicked the stump, I realized there was a nest inside of it. I'm so sorry, birds. I'll leave you be. Look at all those cute little babies. It's just so fine. Cover them up a little bit, give them a little bit of protection. All right, I think that's where I'm going to leave it for today. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today in the garden. If you enjoyed today's video, I would really appreciate if you would like it. And if you'd like to see more garden update, garden tours throughout the season this year, please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. In the next couple of weeks, I'm really looking forward to getting soil for the new raised bed, starting to plant out some of my fruit and vegetable garden plants, checking out some native plant sales, and just really seeing the garden come alive in springtime. Let me know what things you're excited for springtime and what things are blooming in your garden. Looking forward to chatting with you in the comments. See you in the next one. Bye.